All right, sounds great, James. So yeah, how's it going, everyone? It's great to have you here. So a little background on me. Before I ever worked with James, I lived in Seoul, South Korea, and I worked at a business English academy for adults, where I actually was the top instructor in an academy of about 30 to 40 teachers. I had very good student reviews. People loved my classes. They were in very high demand. But like some of you, I was pretty underpaid, undervalued, and I really felt like there had to be a way for me to move up and expand my career faster. Because unfortunately, a lot of those English teaching and online ESL jobs, they're kind of a dead end. Um, you're going to basically stay at the same level. You can't really make any more money. You can't really move up. And so after I completed my year living in Seoul, I decided to go independent. And at first, I thought it was going to be very easy since I had such great reviews. Everyone loved me at my academy. And that was definitely wrong because early on, I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't know how to market myself. I didn't know how to sell my services or how to stand out from the mass of $15 to $20 an hour lessons that we see online all the time. And so when I first went independent, I was just doing it by myself. And I really, really struggled for several months. And when I actually first started seeing James's ads online, it was a perfect time because I was actually about ready to quit. I had been struggling and I was making less than $2,000 a month. And I was really starting to think like, I don't think I'll be able to do this. But I signed up for the Teacher Entrepreneur Challenge back in March of 2020. So I was one of the first people to actually go through it. And it really did give me everything I needed to get started. The things that I personally was missing by far the most were just the marketing and the ability to niche down and stand out in a very saturated market. So I went through the challenge. And then after that, I joined James's inner circle where he provides more ongoing support as well as some more advanced sales and marketing training. And it took about 2 months before things started really working for me. For my niche, I really just focus on Korean business professionals since that's where I lived in the past. That's the people I've worked with, and that's who I feel the most comfortable teaching. So I focused everything on Korean business professionals. I started growing organically on LinkedIn, learning how to message people, how to set myself apart from everyone else. And things really started to take off in around May of 2020. I had my first 5K month in May of 2020, and things have been growing pretty consistently since then. I had my first 10K month in January of 2021, and actually last month was my first 15K month, January of 2022. And so now my business, it's a mix of one-to-one sessions, group and corporate coaching, as well as I'm just starting to get into passive income through book sales and video course sales. And so obviously, like financially, things have changed a lot for me and they're a lot better than they were before, but it's a lot more than that. Like as I've been able to grow this and realize, wow, I can actually have a successful independent business. I don't have to depend on some third party platform who really doesn't care about me. It's really made me so much more confident, healthier, happier. Just all aspects of my life have improved significantly as I've gone on this journey, and it's been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. And I'm very grateful for James, and I'm very grateful that we live in a time where we're able to do this because 50 years ago something like this wouldn't have been possible. And so it's a great opportunity for all of us if we can stand out in the market. If we can attract the right people, you can create whatever future you want for yourself. And that's a very cool time to be in.
Absolutely. Thanks for the introduction, Grant. I'm seeing some comments, very impressive, amazing. What do you do to get 10K? We're gonna definitely talk more about that
Sure.
in this interview. But I think one thing for sure is I believe everyone can do that, Grant. Everyone can do that. Right, following the right approach, do it consistently, put into hard work, and you can do it. And So if Grant is doing it, many teachers are doing it, you can do it too. So thanks for the introduction, Grant. I think we're gonna just get to the very first question. I think a lot of
Sure.
teachers are eager to know so many things, so many things. So the very first question we talk about how to get started. I think the how to get started is really for teachers who have been thinking about this. Maybe the teachers who ask question, what do you exactly do? How do you get 10K? How do you get started? How do you even get students? So where do you to get
Mhm,
students?
mhm,
If you have these questions, so this part going to be super helpful. How to get started. So Grant, maybe I just going to let you talk about it. So I will comment on it. In your experience, you've done the challenge, then the inner circle, then work with
mhm,
this more
mhm.
closely, one-on-one. How did you get started? Now you look back, it's been 2 years, right? 2 years, is that right? two
Almost
years,
2 years. Yeah.
almost 2 years, right? Actually,
Mhm.
you joined the March 2020 challenge, and we're kicking off March 2022 challenge in a few days.
That's
That'll be like a
awesome.
2 year anniversary for you. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
tell us, how do you feel? How did you get started with this business?
Mhm. So when like I mentioned earlier, I first started just totally on my own, doing the general advertising myself as just an English teacher for anyone, and niche teaching, which is one of the biggest concepts James teaches in the challenge, is absolutely the way to go. And to put it simply, you don't advertise to everyone. You focus on a very small, very specific type of client, and you learn everything you can about that specific group, and you advertise your services only to them. So, for example, maybe you only work with pharmacists who work in international companies, something like that. And the reason you want to go that route is you're going to stand out so much more. Like, for example, I imagine almost everyone watching this live stream right now, it's because James has presented himself as a business coach for English teachers. If he just said, "Hi, I'm a business coach, I can help you grow your business," you would be a lot less likely to be here, because of a message like that, it's not going to stand out. It's not going to connect with you personally as much. So, yeah, have a niche that you're really targeting, and you need to have some type of reason for targeting that niche. So, like James mentioned, I went through the challenge in March 2020, and some of the people that seemed like they really struggled, a lot of the times it's because it didn't really make sense for them to be targeting that niche. Maybe targeted a group just because they're interested in it, or just because they like it. That doesn't necessarily work. You need to have some sort of reason, some advantage, some value that you can offer that group that maybe other people can't. And so find a niche that makes sense for you based on your experiences and your skills, and learn everything you can about them and target yourselves just for them. And then
Yep.
when it comes to the, oh, sorry, go ahead. Were you going to add
Yeah,
anything,
I'm
James?
saying, yeah, no, I'm just want to kind of comment on that very, very quickly. That's what we talk about,
Go
the
ahead.
business foundation. A lot of people thinking about marketing, they just go into marketing right away when they start a business. They never
Mhm.
spend time, thinking about their niche, the reasons they target the niche, the problem that the niche has, why they need your help, how you can help them. I think that's what you're saying, Grant, is really think about that first, right?
Yes, yes. Figure out who you're targeting and what you offer that will add value for them.
Yeah.
You want to get that aligned before you invest a lot of money in a website or paid advertising, because at first, you really don't know. And the best way to learn and to, what James calls, align your business, is by communicating with people directly and learning
Mm.
what they really want, and maybe the problems they're having at work with their communication, as well as the problems with other programs that don't really help them. And that's something that I've found with the way that I market my business is the people that I target. There's kind of two problems they have. The first is the actual English communication problems they're having. They feel nervous when they give presentations. They can't understand native speakers who are talking really fast during meetings, stuff like that. However, the second problem is that they've tried other English programs and they don't work. They've tried like the cheap online classes or phone English. And what essentially happens is they end up paying money to have random, unorganized conversations with people that can't really help them with their professional communication. And that can be really frustrating for a lot of people. So if you understand both areas of their problem, the issues they're having at work and why other programs aren't effective for them, and then you position your offer as something different than what they've tried in the past that's actually going to work for the communication problems they are having in their work life, that's how you're going to stand out. That's how you're going to connect with people, and that's how you're going to start getting your first round of students.
Absolutely. I think a lot of teachers who are watching right now probably have gone through the challenge, even join the inner circle.
Yeah.
So we all know like the concept of niche, of finding a niche and doing it. But I think what you just highlighted, kind of emphasize here, not just having a niche, but really spending time communicating with them, understanding them, and learning from them. So then you truly have a niche, right? Just don't say, "Oh, I have a niche now." It's not enough. You really need to spend time
Absolutely. Yeah.
understanding them. Then you can become the best teacher, best coach for this niche, right?
100%.
Absolutely. Yeah, of course. So the business foundation, Grant talk about that, and that's the very first thing you want to think about before you think about anything about the marketing sales. Is not going to be useful if you don't get your foundation done first. So what else?
100%.
And so what else you think it has been really helpful when you first started? Things that I want to talk about
Yeah,
to teach others.
sure. So what I see, if you go on to Cambly or italki or a lot of these other kind of generic online English platforms, almost all the profiles, they talk about three main things.
Yeah.
And those are I'm CELTA or TEFL or any type of certification. I've been teaching for X amount of years and I really love English teaching. And I think those things, they can be good if you're like applying for jobs. But what I've found in my experience when it comes to attracting independent clients, those things aren't nearly as important as having an effective program and the results that you get your students. The number one thing, the biggest thing that's going to get people to want to work with you are just producing great results for the clients that you work with. And so if your main selling point is I have some type of certification or I've been teaching for 12 years, you're not going to stand out because there are a million people saying those same exact things. And it's not to say that those things are bad or that they'll hurt you, but you're going to need a little bit more if you want to attract students on your own, as opposed to just getting a job and getting students passively through a platform. And when it comes to creating a program that's going to get results, the 21-day challenge, if you haven't done it, you should absolutely sign up immediately after this call, because really it's going to give you everything you need. I'm not going to like make a guarantee and say, hey, if you join the challenge, you're absolutely going to have a 6-figure business a year from now. But speaking from personal experience, someone who does have a 6-figure business now, I would not be here at all if I didn't do the challenge. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry,
go ahead.
James.
Sorry, go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, I was just going to say, investing in yourself, it's not going to guarantee success, but not investing in yourself, just trying to figure it out on your own, that's going to almost guarantee failure, because it is incredibly hard to do it. So if what we're talking about today, if where I am in my life, if that's something you want, then the first thing you should do is just join the challenge, which we'll talk about a little bit later, James.
Yeah, absolutely.
But don't try to figure it out on your own at the beginning. Follow a proven system that works. It's going to save you a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of frustration.
Absolutely, Grant. Yeah, I can share a little bit some of my personal story as well. So
Yeah, of course.
when I decided to start this business, helping teachers towards the end of 2018. So the first thing I did was not to register my business, was not to just market my business, do some ads or trying to get clients. The very first thing I did, I remember very clearly because that was around Thanksgiving time. That's the time I started thinking about this. The very first thing I did was go online and look for coaches, like look for courses who are doing this type of business coaching right now. What are they doing? How they do? And now I think about it, it's kind of funny. I just found someone very amazing work, a lot of testimonials, and I went through. Now I went through the webinar funnel. Now I know what it is. A webinar funnel, like a 2-hour webinar. I was like paying attention to the webinar. I was like, oh my god, that's what I need. That's what I need. At the end, okay, I was sold on the $2,500 course, and I paid it just on during the webinar. During
Hmm.
the webinar,
Hmm.
because I think it's so important to learn from someone who's doing it, who's actually succeeding in it, so you don't make
Absolutely,
mistakes.
100%.
So yeah, you are thinking about $2,500 a course from somebody you just met 2 hours ago, but I'm thinking about the $2,000, no, $2,500 going to save me maybe $250,000 if I hadn't
Hmm.
taken that course.
Hmm. Hmm.
So invest in yourself so you don't waste your time. There's no time to waste.
Hmm.
Don't
Hmm.
waste your time. Don't waste your money. You're gonna waste more money if you don't get the right thing, like a right course, right training, right people to work with that can help you, actually help you. So that's kind of my personal experience. That's the first thing I did for
Yeah.
my business. Invested $2,500 from in someone I just met 2 hours, and then I got the
Hmm.
course. It
Hmm.
really helped.
Hmm.
It really helped. Although it was not specifically for teaching business or whatever I'm doing, but it's kind of give me the direction, give me confidence. Oh, that's something I can do. Give
Hmm.
me the confidence. I think that matters a lot. Matters a lot. So I think that back to what you mentioned about the point you mentioned about the approach delta. I was smiling because it also reminded me when I was looking for teachers to teach me.
Hmm.
I can contribute a little bit from a student's perspective, right?
Go
You talk
ahead. Yeah.
about perspective. So when I went to Cambly, like verbally, so when I was a student, right, I was trying to find teacher that can help me with my job interviews, with my meetings, all that, right? So when I go to the website, just exactly like what you said, every teacher is talking about the same thing over and over again. I'm certified. I have this year's experience. I love teaching. And then I got so it doesn't help me because I don't know which teacher I should work with, right? Then the next
What
thing I
makes you unique?
yeah, I don't know which one is I should be working with because all of them are similar. And the next thing I'll be so I actually looked at are their reviews, and a lot of
Sure.
teachers
Sure.
have really good reviews on the website. Otherwise, they wouldn't show up on the first page anyways. All good reviews, right? Then I still don't know which one should I choose. You know what? The next
Hmm.
thing I'm looking at is the price. Right? Same
Yeah.
teachers, good reviews. The next thing that can help me make that decision is price, and that's why people are reducing the price because the competition, because they are the same. And just back to your point, from a student's perspective, definitely true, Grant. Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right, I think this is the first part, how to get started. Um, we talk about the foundation, we talk about what you need to know, not only just having a niche, really understand them, right? And also think about how you can stand out, right? To make it easier. And also Grant mentioned 21-day challenge, and I think a lot of people who are watching the video right now will agree with you. 21-day challenge is a great starting point to get you a lot of things you need to know in just 21 days, without doubt. So I mean, we can talk about that later in the interview if we have time. So if you guys just joined us, please like the interview to help us promote the interview a little bit more, so more people can easily find us in their feed. If you haven't, click on the like button. Please help us do that. And if you haven't introduced yourself, commented, please comment and let us know your questions and your background. Let us know more about you. All right, so now I'm going to move on to the second question. Unless, Grant, you have anything to add to the first one?
I think that's about it. Let's move to the second one.
That's great. So how to get to 6 figures? All right, so you can get started, get some students. I always see that everyone can get students. We got a lot of teachers, they can get students actually even during the 21 challenge. Before the challenge finishes, you get students. Right? You can get students if you do the right thing. You do things consistently, you connect with the right people, you do your content marketing, you do the sales, you can get students. But from getting students, getting started, to getting a 6-figure business, that takes more. And I talk about this a lot as well. I can comment a little bit at the end, but I think you guys are here to listen to Grant. So Grant, how did you scale your business? How did you grow your business to 6 figures?
It's not just one thing, it's a collection of several different things that all synergize together. So earlier, I talked about learning about your niche, and that never really ends. Like, maybe you learn, you talk to people, you get your first few students, and then you just focus completely on teaching and, money and marketing and all that. I still am learning things and am improving my methods today, 2 years after I started, after having easily over 100 students go through my programs. So like that constant process of improving, learning more, talking to people in your niche. When people join your program, ask them why. When people sign up for a consultation with you or a strategy session, whatever you call it, ask them, what about my messaging made me stand out? Learn directly from your target market what they want, and just continue to iterate and improve over time. And as you do that, put structures and systems into place that are really going to maximize your efficiency. It's such like a cliched thing today, but work smarter, not harder. Like if I were to work with like every single person that contacts me and take a long time to write customized messages to every single person, that's like all I would do every day. But over time, you learn what activities are going to create the highest impact for you and your business, and focus on those while creating a system that's going to really maximize your efficiency. Like for me now, I have so many templated messages. My curriculum, it's completely planned and templated. Everything I do has like already been planned and outlined, so it takes me almost no time. And I'm able to work with 30 plus clients at the same time because my system is so organized and so efficient. And there's no way I would be able to do that if I didn't have the business system in place I have now. And so this is actually something that I kind of struggled with. If you go through the challenge and if you follow what James teaches, what's going to most likely happen is you'll periodically get new students through LinkedIn. And after a couple months of improving, it's going to become a little bit more consistent where you're able to get a steady flow of students coming in that you message through LinkedIn or through other online platforms. However, it's going to be really hard to scale if that's all you're doing. And what will most likely happen will be you'll kind of have this revolving door of students you'll make anywhere from like 2 to 5K a month, but you'll never really grow beyond that ceiling. And so if you want to reach, 8K a month, 10K a month, 15 or even higher, you're going to have to create a type of business that scales. And that can be moving from one-to-one sessions to group sessions, or eventually to courses. That can be once you've tested things, once you've really found messages that work, going into paid advertising. And that's one thing that I really regret with my business is I got very comfortable on LinkedIn. I found the messages that work. I had a steady stream of clients coming in, and I waited way too long to start my own paid advertising. I didn't start paid advertising until actually about a month ago. Up until
Yeah.
that point, my growth was 100% organic. And that's awesome because it shows that I have messages that work. But if I would have started paid advertising last year at this time, I would very likely be in a better position than I am now. And so I think sometimes once you get that first taste of success, you're getting a couple students every month, you're making enough money to live, it's very easy to get comfortable there and just maintain that over time. But if your goal is to reach financial independence, or to have, you know, a company where you're making 150K, 200K a month, it's going to require more than just, you know, the what James teaches in the 21-day challenge. That's what you need to get started. But beyond that, you're going to have to scale up with other methods. And I know, James, you do offer additional coaching beyond just the 21-day challenge, right?
Absolutely. Just like what we did. And to be fair, I did push you to pay advertising a year ago. And if you remember,
You did. You
I
did.
did push
Yeah.
you that. I think
Yeah.
you're definitely right. You're definitely right that people get comfortable when they get some success. And the thing
Yes.
is, when you don't scale your business, you know, very very unlikely you're gonna get to the consistent states that easily. And a lot of teachers, after 21 challenge, they struggle with the consistency. They get some students this month, but not students next month. Now, the thing is, if you don't get consistent results, you will never feel comfortable leaving your full-time job, focusing on this business. You will never feel okay. Oh, I actually have a legit business, right? So that's what we are saying in the inner circle: scale or die, and which is true, because if you don't scale your business, you never feel like this a business, and it's just a matter of time, matter of how long it's gonna take you. You're gonna quit very likely in the future, because there's never gonna be a business to you. Then you have to find something else to help you. So you have to scale your business to be more independent with your own business, right? So
Absolutely.
right, so just kind of comment on a couple of things you mentioned earlier. The very first thing, right? The learning periods never ends. You just keep learning,
Hmm.
keep improving. I think that's what you're doing right now as well, Grant. I know you've been
Yes.
working with your students very closely, and a lot of students keep buying your program. That you keep upselling them. That's a very good indication that you are doing a great job. You're providing impressive results, and it doesn't come from nothing. Comes from the consistent learning that you have put in. Try to learn from your niche, from your students, improving your curriculum, improving your systems. The next thing is the system structure you mentioned, which is super important. So if you just see this as a side gig, oh, I'm okay with 1 or 2 students a month. You probably are okay with 21 challenge you can gather. But if beyond that, you need system, you need structures in your business for teaching, for marketing, for sales, so you can automate things. You can get things going without much effort you put in, so you can handle higher volume. You can handle 30 clients. You can do groups. You can do courses, and without system structures, there's no way you can gather. And that's what you said in the second point. The third point, of course, scaling your business. Pay advertising grant you are doing is one way to scale your business. And that's a very common strategy we use. Scale our clients' business as well. The same thing. And the other one would be corporate training. Thinking about
Yeah.
reaching out to businesses. We talked about this last time, right? Something we can work on maybe in the future as well. So corporate training, you reach out to, for example, you got a lot of Korean students, you reach out to Simplon, and you already got some students from there, right? You're gonna offer, hey, I can help you with your employees. I can help you with your company, your employees, right? I've already done that with some clients that from your company. You can get
Yes.
corporate training, and that's like 100K, 200K, 300K contracts for 3 months, 4 months. And you get that. If you do a great job, they hire you every year. So that gives you the consistency as well. So 2 common strategies: pay advertising to drive the volume to scale your business to 6 figures. The other one is corporate training. And both of them we're seeing great results with our clients. You included Grant, and I think that's gonna be the common strategy for teachers to scale as well to 6 figures very easily. Yeah, back to that
Sure.
point, I think if you had done the pay advertising a year ago, probably you had your first 15K as well, like 1 year ago, right? 15K month.
Probably would have been maybe in like April or May of 2021.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so this is the part about how to scale your business to 6 figures, how to grow your business to 6 figures. I hope this answers a lot of questions, right? If you're just doing what you do right now, you're making $1,000, $2,000, you just keep doing that. You are hoping that you will get to 6 figures. Very unlikely that's going to happen. You need to implement structures, you need to put in systems, you need to scale your business to get to 6-figure business, right? So that's the second question. Then we're gonna quickly move on to the third question. If you guys have questions, I know you guys, some of you ask questions,
Yeah,
right?
I'm seeing some questions that
Yeah,
we'll answer.
we're gonna,
Want to go through the third question, then answer these, James?
yeah. If you want to already answer one question, if you want, we can do that, and or we can leave it to the end. Either way, Grant.
So I see that Rachel's been she was commenting about retaining clients,
Yeah, you can
and
answer that.
yeah, she's asking if I'm like upselling or
Yeah,
I'm writing follow-up courses. So
yeah,
initially, yeah, there we go. Initially, I would just when I first started, I would just sell my individual course because that's really all I had. However, over time, you're going to add more things to your curriculum. And eventually, now, after working with so many people, I have enough set planned curriculum material that I could sell easily like 4 or 5 programs worth. And so a lot of people, I do a 12-week program. A good amount of people end up doing 2 programs with me, and I've even had people do 3, 4, or even 5
yeah,
programs with me. And
yeah,
that's kind of another way to scale,
yeah,
which is something more
yeah,
down the line once you
yeah,
have a lot of curriculum, is if students are always coming and going at the same rate, you're never really gonna grow. But if you provide so much value that people wanna stay on with you and you're able to accumulate people over
yeah,
time,
yeah,
that is
yeah,
another way to kind of scale
yeah,
up, which has
yeah.
probably been what's helped me the
At
most.
first,
Is
yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
people, yeah, they join with me and they just keep working with me.
yeah,
Like
absolutely,
for example, there was a month last year, I believe it was like February of 2021, and it wasn't like a huge month for me financially. I did like I think maybe 6 or 7K, but I didn't have a single strategy session that entire month. All the
yeah,
money I made during that month was just from current clients continuing to
yeah,
buy what I
yeah,
was selling because they liked it. So,
yeah,
yeah, to answer your question, Rachel, if it's going to be an enormous time commitment at the beginning, I would say just focus on the initial program you're selling. But over time, add more stuff to your list of class plans, and eventually you should have enough to be offering multiple programs to people.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so just so you know, guys, I just counted very briefly. I think we have over 130 people, at least, just from LinkedIn and Facebook, watching this interview right now. So if you haven't liked the interview, please, if you're enjoying it, please like the interview to help us promote the session. All right. So yeah, back to the upselling. Uh, so we were talking about that last time, right? Grant, probably we're gonna invite you to do a workshop in the inner circle to talk about the way you upsell and how you get students just keep buying from you, which is important because they come to marketing. So there's a concept of lifetime client value, client lifetime value. So how much money you can make from one client. So this
Sure.
is very important when it comes to scaling because it costs money and time to generate one lead, to generate one client. And then how you can increase the client value, lifetime value that decides how much you can scale. Because you already spend the money, you spend the time to get them to be a client. And if you can make more money out of one client, then it just gave you more potential in the business. So we're gonna definitely talk about that in the future. And if you guys have more questions, we're definitely gonna get back to you at the end. So now we're going to move on to the third question, the third part of it. Okay, 3 pieces of advice from Grant. So yeah, we talk about this. I think I really like these three pieces. And Grant, I'll just let you share that.
Okay, sure. So the first tip I have is that we've talked about standing out, connecting with people, attracting your target customer. When it comes to all of that, it's not just what you say. It's also going to be how you say it. And if you don't really believe in the value of what you're offering, like if you deep down, if you're selling a program for $900, and deep down, if you don't really think it's worth that, and you kind of think you're ripping people off, nobody's going to buy it from you because they're going to sense that. So you have to really believe in what you're selling, believe that you're offering, or that whatever you're offering is well worth the price you're charging for it. That's one thing. And also, obviously, in our niche, people are going to work with us because they believe that we're professional, that we're confident, and that we're great communicators. And unfortunately, sometimes I see teachers post videos where like they look nervous. They're kind of like staring off to the side, reading a script while also kind of looking at the camera. And it doesn't create that professional impression that people are hoping for. So if you are telling people, I can help you be more confident, I can help you be professional, more professional with your communication, you yourself need to exhibit those qualities.
Yeah.
And you can go through James's program and you can get like the best sales script in the world, but if you don't sound confident, if you don't look professional, if you don't create that vibe that says trust me, I'm going to help you, then people aren't going to do it. So yeah, it's a lot more than just the words you're using. It's also the overall way you present yourself, what you believe, and how you communicate. So that would be my first piece of advice.
Yeah, Grant. Let me comment on that very quickly, if you want, if you may.
Sure. Yeah.
So one thing I want to point it out is there are a lot of teachers just started out, right? Just started doing this. They can't even handle social media because their mindset and the fears. So what Grant is telling us right now is eventually you want to become that confident person, in videos, on social media, in your business. But it does take some time to gather. Take some time together. So when you do your first strategy session, your sales call, you're gonna be very nervous. I mean, just because
Oh
that's
my God.
first, right?
Yeah.
That's your first. But you need to keep in mind that you need to believe in yourself. You need to trust what you do. I think that's what Grant wanted to let you guys know. You need to trust yourself, believe in what you do, what you deliver, and it takes time to gather. So that's the direction you want to be. It's not like, oh, I'm not confident in my business, I'm screwed. It's not. It takes time to gather, but that's a direction. And we help so many
Mhm.
teachers. And I think I shared this with you guys before. I failed my first 10 strategy sessions. I didn't even know what I was doing. I just get on the call and I don't know what I'm doing, and I failed 10. But I didn't give up. I know I need to be better and better. So I practice. I still remember the days
Mhm.
before maybe this is the first time I tell people. So I used to do, when I first started out, I used to do before the stress session, 5 minutes before the stress session, I actually go to my bathroom. I actually
Okay.
practice a little bit. Yeah, I actually
Sure.
practice a little bit. I don't do it
Mhm.
anymore, but when I first started, every time before my strategy session, 5 minutes, I go to the bathroom, I look at the mirror, I practice a little bit. So I think why I practiced just because I want to be that confident person. But if you don't practice, if you don't feel, you will never become that confident person you want to be that can make you more successful. And I think I just wanted to come just to make that clear. It's not like you're not confident in what you do, you're screwed, you're not going to be able to make this work. It's not. You want to become the confident person, but it takes time, it takes practice. That's all I think I want to add to that first point, Grant.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that kind of goes into my second point, which
Yeah.
is especially at the beginning when you're just learning, focus on improvement, not immediate success. Kind of going back to what James just said, I at this point in my business today, I close if someone is a good fit for what I'm offering, I close almost every strategy session I have. However, when I started, the first 10 calls I did, I only closed one. And the one that I did close, it was more just luck because this guy had an interview in like 3 weeks and was completely desperate to find someone to work with. So maybe if it would have been someone who was less urgent, I probably wouldn't have closed a single one. And that can really hurt. Like, you put in, with me personally, I go pretty long with my strategy sessions. It's nearly an hour. So it's basically like working a long, full day when you're doing, 10 of them and getting 9 rejections. That can kind of hurt your ego and make you question yourself, but that's all part of the process. And you can, rather than just feeling bad about it, really analytically look at what you said, what you did, be like, okay, what maybe wasn't resonating with this person. Use your successes and your failures to learn over time.
Yeah.
And even though James and I have both said, like, the 21-day challenge, it's going to be what you need, there's not going to be one single thing, one single action that changes everything for you. Because there have been times that I've made like what I thought was the perfect piece of content, or I had like the perfect messaging. I was A/B testing my messages on LinkedIn, or like when I launched my website, I thought, okay, this is it. This is going to be the thing that everyone's going to love, and it's going to change everything for me. And that doesn't happen in almost all, in 99% of the time. And so what does happen, and what's going to be much more likely for the people watching this, is you're going to make small improvements over time. Maybe your messaging becomes like 2% better. You become 10% better in your strategy sessions. You learn a little bit about speaking on camera, so the videos you post are 12% better than they were before. And those little improvements are going to compile and add up over time and eventually lead to a huge change in your final result. So there's not going to be like one single pivotal thing that changes everything. There's going to be some failure along the way. Learn from it and just focus on that process of improvement. Because if I would have quit after failing 9 out of my 10 first calls, I wouldn't be here today. And, I think, James, you definitely wouldn't be here if you would have quit after failing your calls.
Quit is never an option. No, it's not an option to me.
If you really believe in what you're selling, if you know that it's going to add value to people, then find a way to make it work. Keep working, keep testing, keep trying new things.
Yeah.
Record your sessions, listen to them afterwards, figure out, what did I really say that was working, what wasn't working. Lose what doesn't work, take what works over time, and it's going to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. Fail, right? Adjust. Fail, adjust, right? Fail, adjust. Failure is never the end. Failures are the steps to your success, right? Just some people always talk about that. And it is so true in this business. So that's the first 2 pieces. We have one more, right?
Yep.
Grant? Yep.
The last one, we've already touched on it a lot, but yeah, don't do it on your own. It's really that simple. Work with a coach, work with someone who knows what they're doing. It's going to save you so much time and money. And even if you have a good plan in place, even if you're getting a little bit of success, if you work with someone who's an expert, they likely can help you scale and accelerate that success a lot faster. So yeah, if you're watching this, if you're a teacher just starting out thinking about going independent, do the 21-day challenge, follow exactly what James teaches in that challenge. And then if you're an alumni, if you've graduated, if you're still struggling, if you want to accelerate at a faster rate, James, I know you have like some more advanced mentoring programs that you're offering. It's a little different than what I did when I went through, but yeah, do you want to share more about that?
It's better than the one you had.
Probably better, yeah.
It's better than the one you had. Yeah, so definitely I agree with you 100% here. And my own story I told you guys my own story, right? I never did anything myself. Whenever I want to learn something new, I want to implement, I'll check it out. I'll try to see if there already something existing, maybe not perfect yet, but I want to use that to give me the starting point, so I don't waste my time reinventing the wheel, right? That's what we said. So about the challenge, if you haven't done the challenge, please do it. Please do it. If you haven't done the challenge, the 21 challenge is going to help you get started. If you've done the challenge, you wanted to scale to 6 figures, right? There might be a lot of coaches out there can help you, but we help teachers scale their business to 6 figures, and we've been doing it. We're doing it, and we help so many teachers. And if you are interested in that, we do have this one-on-one mentoring program, a better version, one-on-one mentoring program that we work with our clients one-on-one for on average 5 to 9 months to get their business into 6 figures. So I will share these links with you guys just a minute, but just to very quickly come back to these three advices. I wanted to make sure you guys get all the takeaways. The first one is the confidence and mindset is not about what you do, it's how you do it, right? Work on your mindset. Make sure you're confident. Practice, right? Nobody's confident in anything unless they do it. Repeat that 100 times. Practice. Number one from Grant. Number two, right? So focus on improvements. There's nothing gonna change overnight. It's not like you're not converting, then suddenly convert 100%. You're not getting students, suddenly get 6 figures. Never happens in businesses. But you want to look for these minor tweaks, these adjustments you learned from the mistakes you made, from the failures you had. Then you will improve your business performance, your sales, your marketing, your teaching, right? As you go, look for these small improvements and make sure you can get to the next level, right? By doing that. The number three from Grant is don't do it on your own. Also from me, that's my advice to you guys. Never do it on your own. Learn from someone who is actually doing it. Right? Who's actually doing it? I'm doing it. I got to 6 figures. I got to 10K in 5 months. I'm doing it. Grant is doing it. Many teachers are doing it. So we're gonna do more interviews like that. Learn from people who are actually doing it. Don't do it yourself. Find a coach to help you. It doesn't have to me or my team. Find somebody that can help you so you can get the success you want right away. So I'm going to share the links very quickly. So the 21 challenge, actually, we prepared a 50% discount for you guys. If you haven't done the challenge, we have a 50% discount link for you guys. If you want to join, I will share in the link in the comments. Right? If you want to join the 21 challenge, that's a link you can use to get 50% off. All right. And for the March challenge, that we're gonna kick off in a few days. So if you, so that's gonna be 2-year mark for Grant. If you're thinking about a 10K, even couple K in a few months, 10K in a year, 15K in 2 years, just like what Grant did, the very first thing you do is the 21 challenge. Right, so please join us. And for the ones who wanted to get to 6 figures, you think we can help you. We can help you with your 6-figure business. You want to have a chat with me? I'll share a link to book a stretch session with me. So I can talk about our program to see if that's gonna help you. Right. So if it helps, let's work on together. If it doesn't help, no worries. Right. So these are the links I just shared. If you don't get the link, don't hesitate to message me. Okay. So now we have a few minutes left. We can answer some questions, I guess, right, Grant? You have a few minutes left too.
Sounds good. Yeah. Let's go through.
Yeah, go through it. I'm gonna go through it. If you see any question you want to answer, let me know. We can do that. I'm just gonna go through the comments.
Sure.
Here.
So actually, I'm just kind of starting from the top and moving down.
Sure.
I see a question from Bonnie at 2:16 p.m.
2:16
She says,
p.m.
"Hi, James and Grant. How did you inquire with your potential niche by phone, using LinkedIn or Facebook or some other method?" So for me personally, Bonnie, I think the easiest way is just direct messages on LinkedIn. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So
Potential niche,
that's what James, he'll explain this in more detail in the challenge, but find people within your niche on LinkedIn, send them a connection request, introducing yourself and just sharing what you do. So still to this day, I send requests every single day to Korean people saying, hi, my name's Grant. I help Korean professionals improve their confidence and professional communication in the workplace. Would you be open to connecting with me? And for you, when you're just starting out, something you could do is after you get some of those connections, you can just say, hey, I want to provide the best possible service to pharmacists or to finance planners, whatever your niche is. And then you could ask them, what are some of the biggest English problems you're experiencing right now? Have that as a follow-up message, something like that, asking people, if they use English in the workplace, the kind of English they use, the problems they're having. And not everyone's going to respond. In fact, James, I'm sure it's still the same with you. A vast majority of people don't respond, but you're going to get some people who respond. You're going to learn more. And then I think what's equally important is when you do learn things, implement those into your messaging and your marketing. Because sometimes people will share really good information with you, but if you don't use it in your future messages, it might not add much value to your business.
Absolutely. And also, Grant, I agree with you 100%. And just for the bigger audience, it really depends on your niche. Now, LinkedIn might not be the perfect place for all the niches. And also, I think we always encourage teachers who want to do a six figures, not only relying on one platform. And I think told you, Grant, to diversify, run ads on Facebook, right? To have different services, offers, because it's risky to be on one platform. No, you don't have control over what you can do on social media, right? Build your email list and scale with structured system on other platforms, do other things, YouTube ads, Google, Facebook ads, diversify, right? So depending on your niche, I think in Grant's case at first it's LinkedIn, now moving also to Facebook with ads. So yeah, I think that's a great good direction to do that. So I'm just looking at the comments here. I think 30 minutes. The next question, if you guys have more questions, feel free to do that. Feel free to ask. If we missed your question, if you really want to know the answer, please ask the questions as well. Okay.
On 2:22 p.m., Jay is asking, how many hours a week do you work teaching, building courseware administration? For me right now, it does kind of vary. I would say about 30 hours of actually teaching, then maybe 2 to 3 hours of like curriculum planning a week, maybe 5 hours of content. And then I'm also right now building and launching my video course, which might take, 5 to 10, about 10 hours a week. So grand totaling everything together right now, I'm probably working about 50 hours per week, which, is a little bit more than most people. It's not an overwhelming number, but the difference is I'm working towards building something that's mine. I'm not working towards making someone else's dream come true.
Exactly.
And it is so much more motivating when you are working towards your own vision and creating your own, making your own dream happen. I almost never have to force myself to work now. I would much rather work 50 or 55 hours on building something for myself than working 40 hours building something for someone else. So
absolutely.
I don't really mind the workload, because I'm working towards something I really believe in. And also, since it's my own business, I can do the work whenever I want. If I want to take a day off, I can take a day off. If, I want to have one day where I'm feeling productive and I want to put in, 11 or 12 hours, I can do that as well. So,
So I spent about 15 hours a day when I first started.
I'm sure.
15 hours a day. That was January 2019, like 15 hours a day. And I didn't get any clients in first month. And I spent 15 hours a day because I'm learning. I know I'm making progress. Right. So I agree with you. When you are spending time on your own business, it's going to give you a return. Eventually, it's not like you're spending 15 hours on other people's businesses or on a job. You don't know whether or not it's going to get a return other than the salary, right? So it's different story. So I really like the question from Tom here. We can maybe talk about that. If you can, Grant, to talk about the skills, sales, copywriting, videos, these skills. So I think Tom wanted to know what are the skills, the things that made you more successful. What would you say?
Okay. Yeah, Tom, I would say I'll just do kind of one thing, and because I feel like this one thing, it really bleeds into everything you do. And the biggest thing I found is I get people to trust me. And by that, when I meet with someone on a sales call, when I present my program, they really think it's going to work for them. And that's not because I'm saying anything differently. It's just because the way I've set up my website, the videos of mine that they watch beforehand, then in the meeting I seem so confident and I believe in what I'm selling so much that they truly trust when they sign up for my program that they're going to get the results that I'm telling them that they'll get. And because like you could say, I have the best program in the world. If you do it, you're going to be a native speaker in 10 weeks. But if you don't have any evidence, if you don't believe that, nobody's going to trust what you're saying and they're not going to sign up. So, I would say the biggest thing is,
sorry, go ahead.
Getting people to trust. You have to start by believing in yourself, and then getting people to trust and believe in you. And that can be through, great videos that really show your expertise, having great relevant reviews from people that talk about, the results you've given them. And then when you have sales calls with people, really presenting yourself in a way that shows that if you work with me, you're going to get the results you want.
Yeah, so that's really what I see here is the mindset. The mindset, you believe in yourself, you're confident in what you do, and that will reflect on sales, marketing. Think about, if you're confident now, you have this confident now, then your video gonna work better. When you're confident now, your sales gonna work better. When you're confident in what you do, your copywriting gonna be better too, because you are thinking about different things than when you were not that confident. So the mindset, I think, Grant, if we talk about what is the most, what, to Tom's question, what decides what have made you more successful, I think, is the mindset, is really the mindset part, the confidence, how you can be more confident in what you do. And the skills come after that. You're confident, you're more likely to take on these skills. You're more likely to actually spend time on sales because this is going to work. You are confident, you have a great mindset. That's great. So another question from Rachel. Rachel, what's your number one tip for closing nearly 100% strategy sessions now that establish a lot of credibility that helps? What would you say?
Okay, that's a hard one because there's a lot you could say here. This might be a little different than when you're starting out, but once you're established, I kind of have people go through a couple hoops before they can get on the call with me. So I have, like, when I message people on LinkedIn now, I never offer a strategy session. I don't even mention it in basically any of my messages. All I do is I introduce myself and I send them a piece of content that I think will be valuable for them. And when people, they'll check that out, they like it, that will lead them to my website where I have another video that introduces my live coaching program, explains what makes it better and different than everyone else. They fill out a form, they book a call with me. And then before we meet for the strategy session, I have that pre-session video, which I think is extremely important, where I share a little bit more about my background, some more testimonials, talk about how my programs work, and then I explain in detail what we'll talk about during the strategy session. So by the time people are on the call with me, they've probably watched at least 3 videos I've made. They've seen the dozens of positive reviews. And I try to create an environment where when they join the call, they're practically ready to sign up already. And that's going to be something that comes with time. But James, he talks about it, at least when I went through the program, you talked about this, James, how you need, in terms of trust, on a scale of 1 to 10, you got to get people to a 3 to accept your request.
Exactly.
Maybe you got to get them to like a 7 to book a call with you. And then you got to get them to a 10 to actually sign up for your program. It's much easier to get someone from a 9 to a 10 than to get someone from a 7 to a 10 on your call. So build up as much trust as you can early on, really share as much as you can about yourself. And Yeah. And then
So,
back to the
so
mindset,
yeah,
believe in
yeah.
what you're selling.
Basically, two things you mentioned. One, qualify people before they take the call. That's
Yes.
all the things
Yes.
you ask people to do. Number one. Number two is to warm them up. Warm them up.
Absolutely.
So the
Yeah.
sales already started when they book the call. Sales does not start when they show up in your strategy session. Sales already started when they book the call. And then that's what you do: share videos, pre-session videos, build trust. When they are in the call with you on Zoom, they already warmed up. You already got their trust from 7 to 9. Then you only need to close that 1 point, close on that 1 point instead of 3. So I think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
really how I understand what you said: qualify and then warm up. That helps a lot with sales. Good. All right, so I know we are already running late. If you guys have more questions, don't hesitate to follow Grant or connect, to send him a connection request, and ask questions if you want. And if you haven't joined the 21 challenge, we have this 50% off discount. I share the link with you. Join the 21 challenge. If you are thinking about six figures, you haven't got there, book a call with me. I share the link with you guys already. As well, with the one-on-one mentoring program we offer to teachers who want to have a six-figure business. So we have this prepared for you guys. If you think in any way we can help you, just take action. Take action. I remember, Grant, you said something that at first, it's not going to guarantee you the success, right? But not taking
No, it's
action,
not.
not doing it, going to guarantee the failure 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. It's good. I think I was just gonna, do you want to answer one more question, Grant? If you have time for it.
I am not in a hurry, James. I don't mind
Okay.
going through a few more
Okay.
questions.
Sure, we can do that then. If you can
Yeah.
stay a little bit longer.
Sure. Sure.
Let me
Yeah.
see.
This is a little bit related, but I see Rachel has another question.
Sure.
How do you not burn out at
Okay.
3 p.m.?
Okay,
So
let me
this is the
see.
way I look at it, Rachel. When I first started, before I worked with James, and I was trying to do this on my own, there was this period in my life where I was constantly worried about money. I was making less than $2,000 a month. The clients that I was working with that I had found on my own before James's challenge, they weren't very good. They didn't really value me. And like I remember I would go to the grocery store and I would be worried about buying a product because it was like $1 more than it usually is. And just having that constant stress about, am I going to fail? I'm worried about money. Am I going to be able to pay my bills? When you feel that all the time, and also when you feel like you're begging people to work with you, which is how I felt because I couldn't find anyone. So I was scrambling and desperate to find students. It really affects the way that you see yourself. And I would say that, 3 years ago is probably about the lowest like my confidence and my self-image has ever been, just because I felt like I was a low member of society and I was failing. And so what keeps me motivated is I want to get in all aspects of my life, financially, mentally, physically. I want to get as far away from that as I possibly can. And whenever I'm feeling a little bit burnt out or a little bit overworked, I think back to times like that, or I think back to working at my academy and my managers basically treating me like shit and not paying me what I'm worth, and promising myself that I am never going to put myself in a position like that again. And that for me has been my biggest motivator. And I don't feel burnout because I will never, get back to an environment like that.
Yeah, I like that
So
answer.
yeah.
Yeah, some people get burned out. I get burned out too. I get burned out from my business. But remember, quitting is never an option. You get burned out, then you recover. You take some days off, you recover, you come back, fight again, right? So burnout is not a reason you're gonna leave the business or you can't do it, because quitting is never an option. And no, and also you can pace better, right? You can pace better. Somebody can get to six figures in 1 year, 2 years. I'll do it in 3 years. I pace myself a little bit more. If you know yourself well enough, you know what pace is better for you, right? So you can prevent yourself from burning out. Yeah, so people do get burned out, but you can always come back. But what the Grant mentioned also makes sense to me. If you have a clear mission here, a clear goal, why you're doing it, and you enjoy doing it, and you will feel less likely that you're gonna get burned out because you love doing what you do so much. Good. Maybe one more question, Grant. If there are any other questions you want to answer.
Okay. Victoria, let's see. Was there any? Yeah. So Victoria Wood at let's see, where is it? At 301. She asked if I continue planning on teaching. Yeah. Do you plan to continue teaching so many hours per week in the long term, or do you plan to hire other teachers to work for you and set up a company? I'm similar to you, but I'm not earning quite so much, but I don't know how to take the next step. Okay. I do not plan on teaching this much forever, but I also don't plan on hiring other teachers. And the reason is, I don't mean this to sound arrogant, but I have learned a lot. I've invested a lot in my programs, and I don't think other people could deliver the value that I can. And so I don't want other people to represent me or my business. That's never really been something I've wanted. What James talks about in these more advanced programs is what he calls the vertical model, right? Right, James? Where rather than you're a teacher and you hire other teachers and they all teach under you, you teach one-to-one, and then eventually you scale into groups, and then eventually you scale into video courses or some other form of like a digital product that you could sell passively. And so for me right now, I just recently launched my first video course. I have a couple others that I'm going to plan on launching over the next year or two. And as the passive side of my business grows, I'm going to gradually taper down the live teaching.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think I will be doing all the coaching. There's no way. So I think what I'm seeing is one teacher, one VA, one ad manager, three people team.
Sure, that could work.
Easily get to six figures. With the combination of one-on-one, premium one-on-one, then group sessions, then courses with the community, it should be easily for teachers to get to six figures. I know now, and the next thing I think we're going to be working on together as well, Grant, is to build up the team. Build a team to help you. Not necessarily teachers, but people can help you operate
other people
business
behind the scenes for sure.
Exactly. Good. Thanks very much for your time, Grant. I really enjoyed the session. I think
this has been really fun.
Many teachers who are watching right now. I think the purpose we're here is not to just share the results and just talk about this. Is really to inspire you guys and let you guys see that it can be you as well if you follow the right approach, follow a proven approach, and do the work. Work on mindset, work on your business, and you will get there. If you don't take action, you will never get there. If you take action, there's a chance you might get there, right? So thanks very much for watching this video or this interview, and I guess I will see you guys next time. Right?
Yeah. Take care, everyone. Good luck.
Take care.